What is rate of dissolving? Well, Google's definition is solubility is the property of a solid, liquid, or gaseous chemical substance called a solute to dissolve in a solid, liquid, or gaseous solvent to the homogeneous solution of the solute in the solvent. In shorter terms, the rate of dissolving is a measure of how fast the solute dissolves in the solvent. So, what affects the rate of dissolving? Well, temperature for one. Depending on how the temperature is, how cold it is, or how hot it is, it could speed up or slow down the process. Heat, for example, would make the chemicals in water speed up really fast, as opposed to cold would slow down the water. Examples, the molecules in boiling water go really fast, which makes it look like boiling water jumps out of the pot when you boil it, as opposed to freezing water, when it freezes into ice, makes it really still and hard. Another one is surface area. And what is surface area? It's basically texture. But let's see some examples. A sugar cube, for example, is basically a block of sugar, as opposed to crushed up sugar. Now, a sugar cube would dissolve much slower as opposed to crushed up, because it's a lot more prepared. Stirring speed is another one. Stirring speed can stir up and dissolve much faster as opposed to no stirring speed. Surface temperature is another example. In a room like this, for example, the temperatures of the tables would probably be normal, unless they were up against near things like a cooling system or a window with the sun. Now, if, say we spill 300 milliliters of water on each table, and we wait about an hour, and we come back, we go back to the cool table, which is next to the cooling system, and there's still a good bit of water left. We go back to the one which is room temperature, and some has dissolved, but not much. And then we go to the warm table, where much of it has dissolved, and there's very little water left. Another one would be polarity. Well, not this polarity. Well, what is polarity? Polarity is having poles or being polar, is Google's definition. Or in other words, separation of electrons charge that leads to molecule positive or negative charge separating. Some examples would be water and oil. They do not dissolve considering they have different polarities, as opposed to sugar and water, which have polarities that do mix. What is hydration? Well, another one of Google's famous searches is the process of combining with water, usually reversible. But hydration to me is more like combining water with another living thing or object. For example, watering a pot would be hydrating the flower, or drinking water would be hydrating a human. But also, you could be hydrating a beaker by putting water in there, even though it's not a living thing, but you'd also be dehydrating the water bottle. Well, what's the opposite of dissolving? Is it assemble, appearing, resolve, maybe precipitation, or coagulate? Well, it's actually all of them. And that's the end of our video. Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Matthew. Welcome to today's DMS StudyCast. A solution is the same as a homogeneous mixture because you cannot see the different parts. It all looks like the same thing. We are going to make a sugar water solution. We make it by dissolving sugar in water. There are two parts to any solution: a solute, the sugar, and the solvent, the water. In a solution, the solute is the thing that gets dissolved. The solvent is the substance that is doing the dissolving. In this animation, you can see what happens to make the sugar dissolve. The sugar atoms are more attracted to the water than they are to each other. The water atoms surround the sugar particles and pull them away from each other. This continues until the entire sugar cube dissolves.